Today, we're getting into a really difficult story. It really exposes the complex, sometimes, well, heartbreaking side of keeping wild animals.
It does. We're talking about Alexis Martinez.
Exactly. A young, clearly very dedicated marine mammal trainer. His life was tragically cut short by Keto, an orca at Loro Parque.
And this isn't just, a one-off accident narrative.
No, it's more than that. It feels like it points to a system, doesn't it? A history, maybe a pattern of warnings that weren't heard.
Unheeded warnings, yeah. It really resonates through the whole marine park industry even now.
That systemic question is really, I think, why we need to talk about this.
Absolutely, because this event, as awful as it was for Alexis and everyone who knew him, it isn't isolated. Not really.
It feels like a stark example of the fundamental problems, the ethical questions that just keep coming up with marine mammal captivity.
Even for people like Alexis, who clearly had this deep passion for the animals.
Right. So our mission today, let's unpack this. Let's look at the different layers of what happened.
From Alexis himself, the person.
To the bigger picture. The implications for how we interact with marine life in these settings. So let's start there, with the heart of it. Who was Alexis Martinez?
Alexis, he was born in 1984, right there in the Canary Islands.
Okay.
And apparently from a really young age, just fascinated by the ocean.
Mm-hmm.
It totally captivated him.
So that led him to study marine biology.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And that passion, well, it brought him to Loro Parque in 2004. He specifically wanted to work with the orcas.
What was he like? What did people say about him?
Everyone seemed to describe him pretty consistently. Joyful, very patient, super professional. He had this kind of calm presence, apparently, a genuine connection with the animals. People, visitors really responded to that.
You can sort of picture him dedicated.
Totally dedicated.
Yeah.
And really committed to animal welfare, by all accounts.
And that's what's so striking, isn't it? Maybe heartbreaking is the word. This incredible dedication, but he wasn't naive about the dangers.
No, not at all. He understood the risks involved in working so closely with these powerful animals.
So it wasn't like he didn't see the potential danger.
No. He was a professional. He respected their power, their wild nature, even in that setting. He believed, I think, in the system, in his ability to connect within it, but he knew that line was there between the animal and the human, the wild and controlled.
And he walked that line daily.
Every single day.
And that system, that environment was Loro Parque in Tenerife, Spain. It's a big park, right? Major European attraction.
Yeah, very well known. And the orcas themselves, they weren't originally Loro Parques. They arrived in 2006.
On loan?
On loan from SeaWorld, yeah. There were 4 of them initially: Keto, Kakoa, Kohana, and Skylar.
And Keto was the focus here. He was the largest.
He was a 14-year-old male at the time. Weighed over, 6,600 pounds?
Yeah.
A really formidable animal.
Truly. And the training methods, they came from SeaWorld, too.
Loro Parque basically adopted SeaWorld's established protocols. But here's a critical point. The trainers at Loro Parque, initially, they didn't have a lot of direct, hands-on experience with orcas before these 4 arrived.
Right. That seems significant.
It is, and despite this relative inexperience and apparently against some internal warnings, the park started doing water work.
So trainers actually in the pool with the orcas.
Exactly. In the water with these huge, powerful predators. It definitely raises questions about risk assessment. Maybe pressure to, put on a good show.
And Keto is central to all this. His history before that day, it's also pretty telling, isn't it?
Very much so. He wasn't born in the wild, born in captivity, SeaWorld, Texas, 1995.
And moved around.
Yeah, shuffled between different SeaWorld parks before he even got to Loro Parque. And his behavior, there were signs.
What kind of signs? Beyond just general red flags.
Well, it sounds like subtle shifts, but consistent ones. Trainers reported seeing frustration in him, dominance behaviors, unpredictability.
Specific things.
There were reports, yeah. Things like biting, pushing trainers, sometimes just ignoring commands altogether.
Yeah.
A growing pattern.
And the crucial part is, people knew this. It was documented.
These incidents, these displays, yes, they were apparently documented. But despite that, Keto kept performing, kept doing waterwork sessions.
So the signals were there. But the practice didn't change.
The practice persisted. Which leads us, tragically, to December 24th, 2009.
Christmas Eve. And this wasn't during a public show.
No audience. It was supposed to be a routine training session. Alexis was rehearsing a Christmas show routine with Keto.
Okay, so it started normally.
That's what the initial report said, yeah. Began like any other session. But then something shifted. Keto refused to do certain behaviors.
Just wouldn't do them.
Right. And in that moment of refusal, that's when it happened. Quito lunged at Alexis, pulled him under the water.
God, you can only imagine the scene.
It sounds like pure desperation. Staff scrambling, alarms going off, people trying frantically to get Quito to release him.
That he wouldn't.
He wouldn't let go. By the time they finally managed to retrieve Alexis, it was far too late.
He was only 29.
Just 29 years old, declared dead right there. And the injuries, they were horrific.
What did the report say?
Crushed chest, punctured lungs, massive internal bleeding, just devastating trauma.
And yet, the first official story wasn't about an attack.
No. The initial narrative, pushed by Loro Parque and seemingly supported by SeaWorld initially, was that Alexis had simply drowned. An accident.
Which conveniently avoided the whole orca attack issue.
Exactly. It sidestepped blame, deflected from the inherent risks of the situation. But then, the truth came out.
The autopsy report.
The leaked autopsy report, yes. And it completely contradicted the drowning story.
What did it confirm?
It confirmed death due to severe traumatic injuries.
Yeah.
Specifically fractured ribs, a crushed price to be paid.
It's such a powerful, sobering thought.
A very powerful message.
Yeah.
And it forces us to ask, what lessons, if any, have really sunk in?
That idea of a price. It
Right.
really does stay with you. When wild animals are caged, there's always a price.
Always.
So as you, our listener, reflect on this story, Alexis Martinez's story, what responsibility do you think falls on us, on the audience? What does truly loving the ocean, truly respecting its creatures mean in practice when we're faced with these realities?
A tough question.
Remembering Alexis isn't just about how tragically he died. It's also about honoring how he lived, right? With that passion, that purpose, that love for the ocean.
Absolutely. Honoring his life means asking the hard questions.
So what does his story compel you to consider about our relationship with the natural world and these incredible animals within it?